You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 3rd, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Common Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 3rd Michigan City Council meeting. If you would please silence all your electrical devices, stand for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silent prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Nyla, on the roll call, please.
Mr. Beatrice?
Present.
Mr. Coulter?
Present.
Mr. Dabney?
Present.
Dr. Cora?
Present.
Ms. Lee? Present. Ms. Moldenauer? Here. Mr. Nelson?
Present.
Mr. Preselinski?
Present.
And Ms. Tillman?
Present.
We have 9 present and no one absent.
Thank you, Ms. Nyla. Approval of the minutes from our November 19th meeting.
Move approval.
Motion to approve by Dr. Cora and seconded by Councilman Dabney.
Support. I don't think anybody said it. So.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hey, Brian, if you could you move your cup? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, sir. Yep. Let's see. Next, reports of standing committees. Are there any reports of any standing committees? I do have a report I'll share with the council, and that's with the revolving loan committee that I'm the liaison to. And there are 3 loans out right now. And I didn't, you guys don't have this information if you're looking for it. Okay, I have this and I get it from the controller's office, and then I get it in my mailbox since I'm on the revolving loan committee. All committee members get a copy of this report every month so they know what's going on. So right now there's 3 companies that have loans out. You have Zorn Brewery, they have a loan. John Figueres, the gentleman that used to own Lindo's and whatever, the last restaurant, he owned the building. He didn't own the restaurant, but he owned the building. So he had a loan. He still has a loan out. And St. Andrew's Products, which is a company here in Michigan City, they have a loan out, and all the loans are paid up to date. Okay, and everything's being taken care of in that respect. And the balance that is in the revolving loan budget is pretty close to $1 million. So let's just say it rounds off at $1 million. So, and what I want to do is get with Clarence, and I believe that we need to start advertising and marketing this program for more small businesses in Michigan City can take advantage of the low interest rate. And with some of these companies, they've had times when, like during COVID, businesses were having a rough time, and we were able to work out different contracts with them in order so they could keep the business going, and we could still keep getting our payments back. So that's right now, that's where we stand with the revolving loan committee, just to give you guys a quick update. And I know that there's a couple folks, we have a couple openings that we've been trying to fill here since I think October. And we do have one person that's going to be filing their paperwork for nominations at the next council meeting. And then there's still one spot open That's for a person that's dealing with in a business in Michigan City, but they have to be a resident of Michigan City, and that's where the tough part comes in. So if you council members know of anybody that runs a business, owns a business in Michigan City, and they live in Michigan City, that they might be interested to be on that committee. It does not require a lot of time. I know in 2024, we didn't have any meetings. 2023, I think we had a couple meetings because we had to look at a couple loans and get them back on track. But yeah, it's not a big time commitment, but you're still involved with the community. So, okay, Councilman Cora.
Mr. President, I have a request. When you ask Mr. Halsey to provide this information or market it, can you ask him to email us, all the council members, what are the criteria for receiving the loan, how much loan do they receive, what kind of interest rates are charged, and what is the duration of the loan, things like that.
Okay.
That way, if anybody asks us, at least we have that information. Thank you.
That's a good ask. Okay, any other committee members have anything? Okay, no, Finance Committee. Councilwoman Tracy Tillman.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Michigan City Finance Committee did not meet on today. However, starting with the Michigan City Riverboat Boyd claims docket for December 3rd, 2024, Riverboat Fund 2235, $53,942.25. Riverboat EFT Fund 2235, $0. Boyd Development Fund 2504, $0. Total claims $53,942.25. Those claims are for Kenny Machinery LLC, $35,042.32, and accounts payable LaPorte Chrysler Inc., $18,899.93. Again, total claims is for $53,942.25. The City of Michigan City 2024 Riverboat Fund Statement of Cash Position, fiscal year to date, November 30th, 2024. The ending balance grand total is $3,517,403.17.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to accept the claims?
So moved.
There's been a motion to accept the claims by Councilman Cora and seconded by Councilman Dabney. All those on the vote signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? The claims are passed. Reports from boards and commissions this evening. And this evening we have Keela Ward from the Promise Scholarship Committee or Program. She's giving us the 2023-2024 annual report.
Good evening, I'm Keela Ward, Director of Education and Workforce Development. And I'm here to talk about Promise tonight. So what I've handed out is an update of the, of the annual report. And on the very first page, I wanted to start by just mentioning some of the other projects and things that I've done and continue to work on since I've been here. And so that is the first page you'll see when you open the folder. So this is separate from Promise, but a part of my duties. So you'll see that under Promise this year, we're implementing a new software program through a company called Founded. And so I've been working on that for about 6 months completely. We're about to go live on that, hopefully. So that's just about in place. So I'm excited about that. The Opportunity Hub is something that I'm the lead person on that project for the city of Michigan City, just helping to move that forward with many committee members. So I've just been named a point person and to talk about the program, move the program forward. And as it stands with the Opportunity Hub, excuse me, I'm congested. I have sinuses, so I'm struggling. Um, we are in partnership with CWI, and to date, we have located or identified a site, which you all probably know is Elston, formerly Elston High School. So that's our site. And we have some agencies on board that have come alongside us to create basically a front door, one-stop shop, wraparound services for social agencies in Michigan City. So a whole bunch of businesses and services under one roof to serve the community a little more efficiently, we hope and pray. And so to find out what we're doing, you can also go to, there's a PowerPoint at northwestindianaworks.org, and you can see a report there of what is actually happening with the Opportunity Hub. The Michigan City Government Leadership Program is our first, we rolled out our very first internship for the city of Michigan City this year. We welcomed 24 students from all the big schools in Indiana and all the schools around the lake, all the community schools, Ivy Tech, you name it, Calumet College, Purdue, Northwest, both campuses. So we're really excited about that first initial rollout. So we're excited to continue that as we plan to go forward in spring of 2025. That was exciting. The end of year or end of summer, I should say, we concluded the internships with end of year presentations by all the interns to come and share with us their greatest takeaways from working for a municipality. And we were excited to have them helping with some projects in different departments to get some project-based work done this summer. So pretty exciting. We are looking to continue in that same vein with project-based work for students. So I'm not sure what number we will settle in on as far as how many we will welcome for 2025, but we do plan to move forward with the internship program. As you'll see underneath all that, other workforce initiatives that I've been involved in this year, I participated in 3 college and career fairs, and really that was the result of being a part of the education committee for the Chamber of Commerce. So I had a chance to serve and meet and greet students and also to promote Promise in those events. Collaborated with Ivy Tech College to welcome our very first Women in Technology intern here at City Hall. So that was a first. We're excited to have somebody here in the IT department. She has since found work, I want to say, in Merrillville, Indiana, full-time. She's gainfully employed. I participated in 4 industry tours in the region, including our operating union. And it was in the state of Illinois, but the hub was in Merrillville, Indiana. So we got to see a training facility, very impressive, where you can learn just about any trade, concrete, millwright, electrician, MIG and TIG welding, all kinds of earth movers, cranes, everything. So it was super impressive. And that is to, of course, to find out what skills are needed. You know, with me being workforce and education, Promise is one end of the pipeline to get the young students, high school age students, but get them ready and get them through high school, but then working with residents as well to find out what skills are needed, where the gaps are, to find out how to prepare our residents for work and for opportunities that are coming to the region. I work with Work One this year. to extend the time of 6 of our interns in City Hall. So that was exciting. We were just looking for monies to keep some interns so we could finish some projects. And so we were able to find monies through a Work One program. Let's see. Number 6, this is the latest development, and that is it hasn't even been a full week. We're just approved by the Vantage program, and that is also a program through Work One, which is a senior work program for those that are at least 55, is the baseline age, and low income, and they want to get back out in the workforce, at least in a part-time capacity. This program is funded all by federal dollars. And so we already were approved, and we already have one worker here in the building. So we have somebody working in the planning office in an admin position, and they would be considered like full-time, part-time people. So they can't work more than 32 hours. But with the Vantage program, we could, and if the person so desires, if we're a good fit, they can work at whatever role for up to 4 years. So it's pretty awesome. The program pays their salaries completely, so we don't have to do any payroll or any of that for the program. So we're really excited to welcome our first person from Vantage. Okay, so lastly, other opportunities. I am representing the city as a member of the Chamber of Commerce Education Committee, so I run across a lot of opportunities to serve, mostly to promote the Promise Scholarship. So that really is a good fit for me this year. I was invited to be a part of Strosacker Early Learning Fellowship, and I just finished that November the 14th. And that is a program that is about educating the community and learning how to advocate for babies, learning about their first 1,000 days of life and how much they learn and grow and what happens as far as brain development, and then going into what we call daycares or childcare, but really learning that early learning really is that. It's not, daycares are not babysitters. They're way more than that. So that's what the nickname itself for Strosacker Early Learning Fellowship. That was awesome. And so I'll be doing some things to advocate for early learning moving forward. Another project that I'm working on brand new is sponsored through the University of Notre Dame. And it is the, Urban Poverty Business Institute. And what it is an entrepreneurship program. And in a nutshell, it's about it's 6 weeks of intense training, but it's longer than that. So I would say give or take 90 days maybe. But this is an awesome opportunity. Notre Dame has a global partnership around the world with 46 other countries with this program. And they didn't have any partners in Indiana, and they chose Michigan City. So we're honored to be a part of that and to bring this information and opportunity for our residents to be to learn how to be entrepreneurs and put all the pieces together, and break it down into bite-sized pieces. And the best part about it all is it's free. It'll be offered free to our residents. So that is coming in 2025. Okay. All right. So Michigan City Promise Scholarship. I think this is the most I've talked all year. And as it says on the cover letter, what you'll find here is, a bunch of tables that will list student names, the schools they attend, and the amount awarded. So that's the meat and potatoes of the annual report. But you'll also find in the bullet points share breakdown of students from 23-24, which is, that's the year that we're highlighting. this year, the current year, but we have a review of the payments over the last 4 years is in there. A report of all the payments made for this year, 23 and 24. There's a balance sheet report actually on your initial. I did not replicate the budget sheets because those amounts did not change. My apologies to everyone. So what you have in the purple folders do not include the budget sheets. That's my oversight. But it's there, yes, okay. Also, in the report is a balance sheet just showing what is in the Promise account right now. Also, I have listed the names of my committee members, which I'm looking for new members. If anybody knows anyone that wants to serve, we meet I would say no more than 3 times in a year. And also the amount of money that Promise has spent over the life of the program. I've listed that as well. It's a bullet point. And actually on your folders, it's I want to say it's on the back side of the first page. Again, I didn't mean to do that, but there it is. It's a bullet point and it lists out that it should be something like 1.2, a 7-figure amount. If you turn it over, you'll see. All right, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to report out in terms of reading this to you all, but I will say this about the recruiting for this year. I came in sort of at halftime, as you all know, in January, and I was able to get into the schools, Michigan City 8 times and over to Marquette twice. Big difference because this last graduating class at Marquette was so very small. I was able to meet with them and 2 times, and they had maybe a dozen grads, and so that is listed. That is also listed on the report. So I was pretty fortunate to be able to get out. Like I say, to those career fairs, recruiting. I had an opportunity to go on WIMS with Danny Hogan and promote the program. So I felt like ample opportunity to promote and to physically be in the schools, meeting the students. Even the night of Rising Seniors, I was invited out to talk about Promise at the high school. Okay, so if you go to the tables, I'll just explain what they mean, and I'll move kind of quickly so you guys can take a look at it. But it starts with the year 2020, and you'll see the name, the college, the amount received, with the total at the bottom on to 2021. So these are of course, our upperclassmen from 4 years ago. So many are graduates, and so that is our next step also with the Promise program to get a tighter handle on our metrics and how to know that we are succeeding is to know who's graduated. So I had the interns audit my program, and I am still auditing. So basically what I have in that office is all paper, hard copy. So I'm typically on the hunt for things. So as I get data, I update. So there are some gaps in terms of graduation rates, things we want to capture. So that is definitely on my plate now to rein that all in. So again, these classes are smaller because these are upperclassmen or have graduated or are finishing their credential. 2022 is a little larger. You'll see, excuse me, with the total there. 2023, even larger still, with the payment listed. And you should see a list of even though that's information for the next report, I did go ahead and and include the class of 2024, because that's who we are currently serving, those that graduated high school in 2024. So I went ahead and listed those. We successfully recruited 17 students. And so you should see a small table with 17 names and how much they've been paid out so far. So that's just giving you sort of a little bit more up-to-date information. And from there, you'll see tables that look like this. They'll cover 2020 through 2024 scholarship payments. So this table does is covers the academic school year for every grade level, if that makes sense. The academic school year for every grade level and the amount paid for every grade level. So it can get confused. I got confused trying to get the information together. So on and so forth. So you'll see 21, 22, that's the amount paid for every grade level, and then the total over those years. Then below that, of course, you'll see 2023-24 academic year, which just ended this year in May, June for some other colleges. But you will see for every grade level what was paid out just this annual year for reporting. Then on the page where you should see some green, it says review of Michigan City High School class of 2024. You'll see some data. So you'll see a number of eligible students and so on and so forth. Not on track to graduate. Those that I met in person. I had to eventually do a big mailing to be sure, so I could sleep at night, make sure every student that was eligible got an application. So I also did a mailing to those students to ensure they had the opportunity, that they saw me in the schools and saw me at the career fairs talking about. And then after those mailings, who actually applied for the scholarship. And then I also listed, because it's a part of the how you qualify, the qualifiers, how many were renters, how many were homeowners of those that turn in an application. So I hope that makes sense. That was for Michigan City High School. Second box, I did the same for Marquette High School. Okay. And I think I've already mentioned to you all that I did include the class of 24 data. The back pages, I actually printed a list of the payments for this year where you all can actually see the checks and the totals that I spent out for Promise, so that it's a little more clear to understand. And you should see that total $181,358.92. And then a balance sheet I included that just gives, it shows our cash balance, where we are financially with the program. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah, Dr. Cora, go ahead.
Thank you for the nice presentation, Mr. Ward. I have several questions. How much money does come into the Promise Scholarship every year?
How much money has come in?
Yeah.
We have not had any monies to come in as of late. Only thing I could, which would be on the budget sheet, would be in our budget, would be our investments. So far, no, we have not brought in any cash.
Mr. President,
Dr. Cora, I think Councilman Dabney can answer that question.
Yeah, when we first started the scholarship, I think we were putting like $700,000 a year in there. But then it wasn't spending down as quickly as we thought it would. So we stopped making that transfer into the account. So the past few years, there hasn't been anything that has come. I think we were using Riverboat when we first got started, but we have not put money in this it's probably three years or something.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what's been going
We
on.
have spent, and I know I haven't been here even an entire year, but we have spent considerably less this year just because the recruiting efforts did not yield, a bunch of students. So,
Yeah, and if I could, Keela, to answer that question in a little more detail, is right now, according to the balance sheet, there's $2.9 million
mhm.
in that fund. And that's what made the decision a couple years back during the budget hearings that we weren't going to put any more money
Mhm.
into that fund, because just like you said, it's not being spent down as fast as we thought it would be. So
Okay, all right.
in my estimation, there's plenty of money in there to fund this fund
For the
for
next
a few more years to come. Yeah.
The other question I have is what are the academic requirements and what are the financial requirements to qualify for this?
The academic requirements for someone to qualify for the scholarship is that the student should, as a senior, graduate with a cumulative or overall GPA of a 2.5 baseline minimum. Mhm.
And are there any financial requirements to qualify?
No, there's no financial requirement. We require them to do the FAFSA. We require them to do, volunteerism, 40 hours of volunteer work. Require them to do the FAFSA and show proof that they have done the FAFSA, which is the clearinghouse for other financial awards. So
And once they qualify for the scholarship, do they get money for all 4 years?
that, yes and no, it depends because we as me, I am monitoring their grades. And so at the college level, they have to maintain a 2.0 overall GPA. They have to continue with their volunteer work, 40 hours. And if they fail to do either, they will be separated from the program. So if they have maintained their grades, they continue to live in Michigan City, do the FAFSA, and do their volunteer service, we would continue to make payments on their account. And the thing that what I tell students, what activates payment for you is for you to send me your bursar bill. Send me your billing statement that shows your tuition and fees. Once I get that, then I know I can release payment. Without that, I will not release payment because I don't know how much to send, number one.
Mm-hmm.
The stat that concerned me was in what you have shared in the last page, there are 97 eligible seniors and only 22 applied.
Yes. After being in high school, 8 visits, after the career fairs, and I even mailed out, I think in there it says 70, maybe 76. Yes, that is what happened.
So my question is, are these other individuals who did not apply, they did not go to college, or is
Those that did not apply, I would have to actually follow up with guidance to find out what their paths were.
I would be curious,
Yeah.
if there is money coming in and they're eligible for it, why are they not taking advantage of it? Is it because they're not pursuing college, or how many of these 70 odd individuals did
Mhm.
not pursue college? And if somebody did go to college, why did they leave this money on the table?
For the small amount of students that I did come in contact with, I know that some wanted to go to school out of state,
Okay.
but they couldn't really, they wanted to go to school out of state. But for the committee and I, we want you to just meet with us and, explain to us why you want to go to a school out of state. So if it's something like my major is only offered at this university, or I can only get this credential if I do this sequence of things at this university, that is something that we would
Take into consideration. Because I did see that some of them did go to Illinois. I saw somebody went to Roosevelt
Mhm.
University.
And those were cases just like that.
Okay.
Where those majors, yes. So when I came in January and I was able to interact with those students by phone and email, I did ask them, when you were accepted, what were the circumstances?
And is $5,000 the maximum they can get per year?
A year.
I'm sorry,
Is $5,000 the maximum they can get
the maximum. So it's $2,500 per semester.
per semester?
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Keela came into this program, like she said, this year,
Yeah.
you know, halfway through, and she had hit the ground running. And, you know, I was on the council when we first built the scholarship.
Yeah.
So I have even information that she hasn't probably even seen yet because she had to do the intern program all summer. So she's been really running. But when we started this thing with the GPA, the 2.5 GPA, we settled on that. And at the time, the council people on there at the time were myself, Al Whitlow, and Candace in Tisdale. I think that's how you pronounce her last name now, Candace Silvas. And I still call her Silvas. But anyway, we were the 3 council people on there at that time. The 2.5 GPA matched the 21st Century Scholar program here in the state of Indiana.
Right.
So you need a 2.5 to qualify for that 21st Century. And then once you're in college, you need a 2.0 because the 2.0 matches what's called the satisfactory academic progress. If you maintain a 2.0 throughout college, you will graduate on time and always remain eligible for financial aid. So that's where those 2 numbers came from.
Yeah.
And like I said, Keela's just getting into this. And so she wasn't around to see all of that going on way back in the day, but there was a lot put into it. And, you know, part of this, I used to be in the school systems and I worked out at Purdue North Central as the director of financial aid. So I had up close view on how some of this was made.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, students going out of state. A lot of it is apathy.
Yeah.
For some reason, you know, I've handed scholarships, helped them fill them out, handed them to students. They never turn them in.
Yeah.
And basically I did all the work. And so it's I don't know why it's such a heavy lift to get people to apply for this because it's just like you said, it's money sitting on the table.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some better results now that we got Keela, you know, going out there and really making appearances at the high schools and that to get more people. So
Thanks for all that information.
Okay. Councilwoman Daisy?
Yeah, thank you. Keela, thank you for all of this information. This is wonderful. I knew the numbers were low, but to see a list of all the names,
Yeah.
it's shocking.
Yeah.
And so I know you and I have spoken before, but
Mhm.
I'm still happy to help you recruit in the high school and
Awesome.
get more names on this list because this is
Yes.
Yes,
I'll be in there this
what
week.
everybody said. We can get more
Yes.
people on this. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councilwoman Mullenhour?
Yeah, I'm wondering if any consideration has been given to actually including the trades and
Yes.
making that eligible because some people choose Ivy Tech and get just a 2-year degree, or
Absolutely.
they may decide to go into electrical or carpentry work or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had a student this year at Ivy Tech. So that's a yes across the board. So definitely looking to tweak some things to sort of get some traction. So absolutely. Hmm.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Councilman Beatry?
My question was similar to what Ms. Moldenauer just mentioned, because I remember when we started this, I wanted to make sure that it was going to be available to people who are pursuing 2-year degrees or professional certification. But as I look through where the money was going, I don't see any of those listed. They're all universities and colleges. That doesn't mean that they couldn't be there for a 2-year degree, I suppose, to opt out. But
Okay.
I'm wondering if are you confident that the guidance people are promoting this to students who are not 4-year college people? Because
You know-
I'm weary of that. I'm very leery that they may have missed that somewhere along the line.
I can only speak so much to that. They are very accommodating to me so far. And I come from higher ed as well. So I'm used to coming into the schools and working with them. And, you know, I sat down with them over and over and let them know, hey, send more students than this. I'm only getting 2 here, 2 there. How many passes are you writing? So I began to speak to them when I got to the building and as I'm leaving the building and saying, okay, you gave me this many passes. This is who I saw. What happened? So because it was just shockingly low. I haven't had any I haven't had any pushback or any problems from guidance. I don't know how much they're pushing it, when I'm not around. I just know that I'm constantly talking to them, and the doors fly open when I call. I'm there this week at the end of the week as well. But I would say that I mean, to your point, they're probably just really leaving it to me to create the momentum for it. And, I realize they're busy. I'm watching them, not policing them, but I'm seeing what they have on their plate as well. So I come in and try to say everything I can think of. And coming from higher ed, you try to think of all the other programs and ways to get funding. And so I find myself really, really talking up a storm when I go to the school. So I'm doing my best. But to your point, I don't know what guidance is doing, but they are my mechanism. They are my mechanism to be there. So I don't know if there's a better way to as far as operating inside the buildings. I don't know if there's a better way, but I'll try it if there is.
Well, you're doing a great job, and I'm encouraged that you're working on the entrepreneurship and the workforce development issues, not only for students, but for older adults too, for incumbent workers. So
Oh yeah,
I knew you were going to be great at this because you were great. You were a great student.
thank you,
So I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work.
thank you.
Councilman Nelson?
First off, great presentation, great work.
Thank you.
Instead of individually giving it to the students, is there any way to get the entire class of the 2025 together and present it to them at once?
Well, yes, there is. I was in the schools this year. I keep wanting to say last year, but I was in the schools. So much has happened. But I presented to the rising seniors and their parents, all in the auditorium. And so I thought, yay for this. So I mean, I'm definitely open to doing big groups, in terms of just speaking to everyone. The last probably 3 visits I was in the schools, they had me coming to certain classrooms. I think they call it's like study hall, but I don't know.
Wolfpack.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just Elston all the way. But I don't know the rest of it. It's like study hall, but there's 20, 30 people.
That's
So
worse.
that was a way that I was getting, with the larger groups.
So you're going to during the work study. My daughter, she goes to high school. Their work study hours is what you're going to.
Did you say work study?
Work study. They do a block of pretty much catching up on work, like study hall for the most part.
Mhm.
Just a little bit more attentive and more attention to certain subjects.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I was invited into these classes, into these spaces where students would be having a time where they could study. Or yes, I was invited into those classes 3 times, as I recall. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Councilman Beatrice, you still want the lights on? Any other comments from council members to Ms. Ward? I just have a couple comments, and I'm sure you're doing a fantastic job. You're trying to do the very best you can. The other directors that we've had, I've had all the confidence in them because I know they gave reports. They were out working hard, trying to shake the bushes to get people to sign up. But I think it's what Mr. Councilman Dabney said. There's a lot of apathy out there
Yes.
where somebody has to take the responsibility besides you
Mhm.
sitting somebody down and say, hey, fill this out, sign here.
Sure.
There has to be parents involved.
Yes.
The student has to be involved. If you're a senior in high school and you're really focused
Yes.
and you're going to need the money, we can all use another $5,000 to go to college, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that the people with the students, with the parents have to get involved. And that's what I'm sending out to the public. If you're sending your child to university or to school or trade school or whatever you have, there's an opportunity for $20,000 over 4 years
Yeah.
that you don't have to pay back.
Yep.
Now, anybody that wouldn't take notice of that or know somebody that really doesn't care, there's not much that you can do about
Sure.
getting that person to the table.
Sure.
So keep up the good fight. Hopefully these numbers will get higher.
Hope so.
And, this is when this was devised, this was a great opportunity for,
Yes.
yes,
Really?
for seniors and in high school that want to further their education.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Keela.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And our next department head, I believe, is the police chief, Mr. Marty Corley.
Thank you, Council President, City Council. Here to present the November 2024 stats. I emailed them to you all earlier just in case I wouldn't make it, but I did pass you out a hand copy. So anytime you have any questions, feel free to stop me. Total cost of service were 3,375. That's 218 more than October. Total reports taken 406, 25 more than October. Total arrests 187, 33 less than October. Juveniles were 19, same as October, and adults were 168, 33 less. Total shots fired calls were 21, which was 17 less than October. Total firearms seized were 5, which is 4 less than October. Speeding tickets 154, 9 more than October, which 4 citations and 150 were warnings. Our warrants had 89 issued, 105 served, 25 recalled, and 130 total cleared. Flock case reports 28, 9 more than October. 2 were for stolen vehicles. 1 of the vehicles were recovered. 2 were Raven notification where evidence was found. 1 was for a shooting investigation. 14 were for driving offenses. 1 was for burglary investigation. 2 were for theft. And 1 was for warrant arrests. 2 were for drug arrests, and 3 are for accident reports. Social worker Jocelyn Coburn, she had 44 total referrals for the month of November, 44 total contacts. 5 were from reports, 20 were from the patrol division, 7 were from self-referral, and 2 were for outside agencies, 10 from outreach. The types of referrals, 20 were for mental health, 1 was for a substance abuse overdose, 5 were for juvenile issues runaway, 1 was for abuse neglect, abuse neglect. 13 were for homelessness, unstable housing. 5 were for aging or elderly. That's it for that. And resources provided, 2 recovery supports, 3 for CMHC, 2 were for other counseling agencies, 1 for emergency department, hospital, 12 were for shelters, and 5 were for other, which include Victims Advocate, APS, Family Advocates, and HealthLink MERT team. Any questions on?
I got a question.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good, sir.
Is this public information? Can somebody go online and get this?
We don't publish it online. What I do is this report for you all every month, but if a person wants a copy of this report, I have actually with me now, or they can contact me and I email it to them, or they can come to the department to get it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
If you would, Chief, just take a minute and talk about the Just take a minute and talk about the decompression area
yeah.
that you opened up earlier in the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the other council members couldn't make it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
you're welcome.
Council President. So October, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, October, November. We did a ribbon cutting for our decompression area. If you're not familiar with it, as you know, or if you haven't heard me talk, this year we've tried to kind of concentrate on mental health for our officers. We have a comprehensive plan. A lot of it has a lot of do with some more additional dollars later on in the future. But we started with some things that we can get done now that were not very costly to the department or the city. So we first started off with a peer support team. I think I presented that to you all on one of the other sessions that we had with 6 members, 1 being our social worker and 5 being officers coming from different ranks in different areas of the department. Our second part was this decompression room. First, I'd like to give a big thank you to Unity Foundation. They were big in donating some dollars to us for that. And then another big shout out to Naturally Wood, who then donated some equipment for us, and Sacred Dunes Health also. So we did a ribbon cutting. So basically what happens with the decompression room, it's available for officers if they want to come in before shift, after shift, or if it's during shift, they have to get supervisor approval. as the studies have shown, that mental health is a big area of concern in almost everyday life, but in law enforcement, you know, we have a high suicide rate, high divorce rate, so on and so forth. And as studies has as law enforcement has progressed, we have, you know, come to learn that nowadays, you know, we need to take care of our officers' mental health, you know, as well as any other aspect of the job. And so decompression rooms are what area where officers, if they get stressed out, get if some things have going on, if they just need to go somewhere and just take a load off or sit to get their mind straight or just relax for a second because the job can be stressful. Then they can go to the decompression room. And again, it's, you know, a place in the department where they're safe. You know, one of our things is, you know, we don't trust too many people, you know, we don't, you know, saying we don't stick to our backs to the door, you know, those type of things. We back in cars and all that, you know, stuff. So one of the things part of the decompression there is going somewhere where it's safe, besides home. And sometimes you can't go home during work. So it's in the department. We were actually able to get some equipment, some things actually where you take your vest off, your gun belt off, put it on that stuff and just really, you know, get down to it. I've been in the decompression room about 2 or 3 times already. So we have a nice massage chair in there, a couple of good recliners, some mood lighting and some other things, again, just to, you know, you're able to soothe your mind. It's a couple other departments have these throughout the country. Again, we didn't reinvent the wheel. Last year I was able to go to a crisis intervention conference and met a commander from Eureka, California. And so we've been they have a comprehensive mental health, or I'll say wellness program for officers. So we've been talking to them and working with them to kind of shape the way we want our program to look. So I said decompression room was one 2 parts or one of the parts of our wellness program that we want to actually roll out here in the near future. So I haven't been monitoring it, but you know, I have seen the chairs moved and a little wear and tear. So I feel like officers are using it to their to benefit, you know, their daily work product. As you know, I always say I don't think when we have incidents that, you know, sometimes, you know, we have to make split-second decisions. And I think if we have a clear mind, that helps us out a lot. So we want to just make sure not only protect our people, but we want to make sure the community is serviced as the best as possible. So any questions about that?
Councilwoman Mullenhour?
Yeah, Chief Corley, I really want to acknowledge a lot of the movement I've seen towards mental health for your staff and also for the community as a whole with having a social worker on staff now. Part of my background actually was in mental health. So this really is important and significant. So thank you so very much for being the leader that saw a need and is providing for your staff and for the residents of Michigan City as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments for the chief? Thank you, Chief Corley.
Can I make 2 more acknowledgements before I go?
Sure.
First, I wanted to congratulate our 32 residents that just recently graduated from the Michigan City Citizens Police Academy. Mr. Mellon is one, and Mr. Dakota Bueller is one also. Anybody else in? No, that's it. Not leadership. No, I mean not Citizens Academy. That's leadership. And so again, it's one of our annual programs that we do, and it was great to have those residents graduate from there. Also like to give thank you to our dinner sponsors, which is Galveston's Pizza Stop, Leeds, Fiddlehead, Buffalo Wild Wings, Patrick's, and Olive Garden. And then last, just like to acknowledge we did our shop with our cops yesterday. If you haven't saw any Facebook stuff, we had a great time. We had over 80 participants that we served from the special needs population here in Michigan City, from the Shell Foundation, Social and Learning Institute, and the Michigan City High School. Each participant was able to spend $75. I want to give a big thank you to NIPSCO, who's been a premier sponsor for the last couple of years for that. And then also Flock Safety and Utility for their sponsorship. Also a big thank you to Walmart for working with us. They really provide a lot of extras that we don't have to pay for, and we're able to concentrate more of our funds towards the participants. that allowed the event to be successful. And then last but not least, a big shout out to WIM's Rick Frederici, who, made the event very fun. So if you have any questions about that, I'm here to answer those also.
Well, no questions.
All right. Thank you.
Chief. All right. The mayor's here tonight.
Good evening, council. I'm losing my voice, so bear with me. I have a couple of things for this evening. I know that we have a couple of things on the agenda. We have the Safe Streets for All grant that is on the agenda. I just wanted to share with you how important that is for us in our planning for the next 3 years that we have left. That grant is a match that I've asked the Redevelopment Commission to do the match for that grant. You'll have that on your agenda a little bit later this evening. I think it's a 20%, so $20,000 is on the agenda for the Redevelopment Commission for the match. So nothing coming from Riverboat or from our general fund. Also, I'm behind and a little bit late, but I still owe you more information. It's been a labor of love trying to get through the ARPA money. We have to do contractual things and a lot of paperwork to get this done, and I need to get this all to you. I need to update all that. It may require a special meeting. I'm not sure, but I hope to have that finalized. I've been working diligently with the controller's office and our attorney. We didn't realize how much paperwork was going to be required at the end of this year to get that done. So I'm still working through that. I've been reaching out to the different entities, but also the departments to make sure they understand what the intergovernmental relationship would be for some of the money that was presented. So, and my apologies to Councilwoman Molenauer. I thought I was recording it on my laptop, and but we did have Alco there, thank goodness, to record it. So it is online. But I do want to share with you some news from this evening, and I'll just read it. And this is a letter of intent from the governor, Eric J. Holcomb, a letter of intent to transfer certain real property. We just signed a letter of intent about 20 minutes ago with the governor. The state of Indiana is building a new correctional facility in Westville, Indiana. The Northwest Indiana Correctional Facility will house up to 4,200 men and will improve operational efficiency for Indiana Department of Correction employees. It will also include security upgrades, expanded healthcare and education services, and recidivism programming. The Indiana State Prison at Michigan City will be consolidated with the new Northwest Indiana Correctional Facility at Westville once the new facility is operational, which it was named today. With the progress that has been made, it is the state's intention to transfer the Indiana State Prison property to Michigan City. This letter of intent confirms the arrangement whereby the state of Indiana, through its Department of Administration, agrees to transfer as a gift certain real property to the city of Michigan City for the purpose of economic development by Michigan City, consisting of the land and improvements thereto, otherwise known as the Indiana State Prison of Michigan City. LaPorte County, Indiana, located at 1 Park Road Street, Michigan City, Indiana, LaPorte County, Indiana, 46360, and more particularly described in the deed record attached to this letter of intent as Exhibit A. The IDOA in Michigan City intend for the transfer of the property to be completed by January 1st, 2029. Signed this day by Eric J. Holcomb, Governor, and Angie Nelson Deitch, Mayor of Michigan City. This was a significant step for us. He shared with me that he believed in my leadership and that we've been talking about this for a few years and people didn't believe it would happen, but it's going to happen. And I look forward to working with the council and making sure we have a smooth transition as we move through this opportunity over the next couple of years to make sure that the west side of Michigan City becomes just as vibrant as the downtown area. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great news from Michigan City. Thank you, Mayor. And are there any other department heads that want to speak? Okay, thank you. That's closed. Madam Clerk, are there any petitions before us this evening?
There are no petitions.
Any communications?
Correspondence was received in the clerk's office on November 15th from Indiana Department of Environmental Management regarding the approval of air permit application. Correspondence was also received in the clerk's office on November 19th from Ronnie McCormick regarding the Urban Enterprise Association.
Okay, thank you. Our first resolution before us this evening by title only.
A resolution by title only approving submission of application and supporting the local match for the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant, SS48A grant. And this is introduced by Ms. Tillman.
And does the author have anything that she would like to add at this time?
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to add, as being a voted member on the redevelopment committee, that they did approve the matching funds of the $20,000. And the reasoning for that, again, is previous council approved that any matching grants must be approved by council. So on tonight, I just hope that everyone would make a motion to accept the resolution.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this resolution? Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this resolution? Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this resolution? Having none? Any council comments? Any council comments? Councilwoman Tillman?
Motion to accept resolution.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilwoman Tillman and seconded by Councilman Cora. Ms. Nyla on the vote.
Mr. Coulter,
Aye.
Mr. Dabney,
Aye.
Dr. Cora,
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Molden,
Aye.
Mr. Nelson,
Aye.
Mr. Preselinski,
Aye.
Ms. Tillman,
Aye.
and Mr. Beatrice.
Aye.
We have 9 in favor and no one opposed.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nyla. Our first ordinance on first reading by title only.
An ordinance on first reading by title only, creating Article 2 in Chapter 18 of the Michigan City Municipal Code to be known as the regulations of drones in the city limits. And this is introduced by Mr. Dabney.
Councilman Dabney?
Yes, this is an ordinance that we're putting in place, laying down some laws concerning the safety of drone usage here in the city. And in particular, it's talking about, some safety issues with the Michigan City Zoo, our airport, and, public events and things of that sort. We have none of these laws on the books right now in order to be able to do anything with people who are flying drones, especially over the zoo that could be bothering the animals and things of that sort. And then also, you have issues with the airport, and these drones are becoming more and more popular as people are buying them and doing whatever they want with them. So we're going to put some rules and some laws down in order to enforce some of these things to keep people from flying these drones illegally in certain areas here in the city.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this ordinance? Having none, are there any further council comments? Councilwoman Mullenhour?
I would like to be added as a sponsor on this ordinance, please.
Please add Councilwoman Mullenhour as a co-sponsor, and Ms. Nyla also add myself as a co-sponsor. Councilman Coulter?
Thank you, Mr. President. So my main concern is looking at the district around the zoo. I think 1,000 feet, and I'm trying to look this up quickly, but I don't know for sure. Does that include a little bit of the beach? Because drone people love the beach. They're all there.
I am not certain how far that goes, but the whole concentration of this is to make sure that we are protecting the zoo. So I'm not exactly certain where the 1,000 foot, would or whatever it is, would go to. Obviously, I can look that up and get an exact answer and report that back to the public as well. But the big thing we're looking out for is make sure that the people aren't flying those things over the zoo, bothering animals and such.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Are there any other council comments? Having none, this ordinance will be held over for a second reading at our next meeting. And our next ordinance on second reading, I believe, yeah. And this ordinance here, and I'll read it by title only, is for approving additional appropriation in the budget of the refuse fund for payment of workers' compensation claims. And there was a formal public hearing. The formal public hearing will be held tonight. For some reason, I thought we had done that already. Okay. So we're going to have a formal public hearing. But prior to that, are there any comments from the authors?
I have to read it. By
Pardon?
title only. I
Pardon?
need to read it, the title.
Sure, I read it, but you can go ahead and read it again if you want to.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So are there any council comments of the authors?
Mr. President, during our discussion at the last meeting, we had indicated that we were short of money in the workman's comp account, and there were several claims, especially from the refuse department. So that's the reason why there was a need to make this happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other comments by the authors? We will have public comment at this time. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Having none, any further council comments? Councilwoman Tillman?
Mr. President, thank you. I'd like to make a request on second reading that we have third reading on this as well.
Okay.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilwoman Tillman and and seconded by Councilman Cora. On the vote, Ms. Nyla?
Mr. Dabney,
Aye.
Dr. Cora.
Aye.
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Miss Moldenauer,
Aye.
Mr. Nelson,
Aye.
Mr. Prespolinski,
Aye.
Ms. Tillman,
Aye.
Mr. Beatrice,
Aye.
and Mr. Coulter.
Aye.
We have 9 in favor and no one opposed.
Okay, Ms. Nyla, we'll move on to third reading by title only.
An ordinance on third reading by title only, approving additional appropriation in the budget of the refuge fund for payment of workers' compensation claims. And this is introduced by Dr. Cora, Mr. Beatrice, and Mr. Dabney.
The authors have anything they'd like to add at this time? Having none, any public comment? Any public comment? Any public comment? Public comment is now closed. Any council comment?
Motion to support?
Support.
Okay. Councilwoman Tracy Tillman made the motion and seconded by Councilman Nelson. Ms. Nyla, on the vote?
Dr. Cora?
Aye.
Ms. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Moldenauer?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Prespolinski?
Aye.
Ms. Tillman?
Aye.
Mr. Beatrice?
Aye.
Mr. Coulter?
Aye.
And Mr. Dabney.
Aye.
We have 9 in favor and no one opposed.
Yeah, and Councilman Dabney, I apologize because you turned your light on. Did you want to say something?
Waiting to get the vote.
Okay, all right. Didn't want to cut you off there. Okay, moving on to our next ordinance on second reading
An ordinance.
by title only.
An
Ms.
ordinance,
Nyla?
on second reading by title only, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Michigan City, Indiana, approving the Moore planned unit development. And this is introduced by Mr. Dabney.
And does the author have anything he'd like to add this evening?
Yeah, I'm looking up there at our people who are joining us, and I thought that Attorney Novak would be up there. Just in case we had any more questions. Is he on there? Okay. Because we went through this in some pretty much detail on first reading, and we were talking about, we had the formal public hearing was actually done in the planning commission meeting. It says we're supposed to have it here as, let me see. That says it was held in the planning commission. So I planned on suspending the rules and doing second and third reading tonight on this ordinance. If there are any questions that may come up, we have Mr. Novak on the line. I can't to answer any questions for us.
And I appreciate it, Councilman Dabney, and I did make a request of him yesterday if we could suspend the rules and have second and third reading. Main reason being we have to ultimately go back in front of the Plan Commission for final approval of the PUD, and then also secondary and final approval of the first tract of the major subdivision. So we'd like to be on the January 28th agenda. Plan Commission has a 30-day deadline, but our engineers and architects are waiting to make sure everything is adopted before we work on further drawing. So that's why the request was made for second and third reading if possible, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Novak. Now open up for public comment. Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Having none, public comment is now closed. Is there any further council comment or council questions of the Attorney Novak? Okay, having none.
I make a motion to have third reading.
Support.
Okay.
So there was a motion by Councilwoman Tillman for third reading tonight, and who's seconded? And it was seconded by Councilman Joe Nelson. Ms. Nyla on the vote?
Ms. Lee,
Aye.
Ms. Moldenauer,
Aye.
Mr. Nelson,
Aye.
Mr. Prespolinski,
Aye.
Ms. Tillman,
Aye.
Mr. Beatrice,
Aye.
Mr. Coulter,
Aye.
Mr. Dabney,
Aye.
and Dr. DeLauro.
Aye.
You have 9 in favor and no one opposed.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nyla. Same reading, if you would, please, on third reading by title only.
An ordinance on third reading by title only. An ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Michigan City, Indiana, approving the Moore planned unit development. And this is introduced by Mr. Dabney.
And does the author have anything you'd like to add at this time? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this ordinance? Having none, any further council comment? Councilwoman Mollenauer?
I just want to say this is a welcomed addition to the Michigan City tax rolls. For close to 7 decades, this has been in the ownership of a nonprofit church. So I do welcome this development in Ward 6.
Councilman Dabney?
There's no other comments. I'll make a motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Support.
Seconded by Councilman Joe Nelson. Ms. Nyla on the vote?
Ms. Moldenauer,
Aye.
Mr. Nelson,
Aye.
Mr. Prespolinski,
Aye.
Ms. Tillman,
Aye.
Mr. Beatrice,
Aye.
Mr. Coulter,
Aye.
Mr. Dabney,
Aye.
Dr. DeLauro,
Aye.
and Ms. Lee.
Aye.
We have 9 in favor and no one opposed.
Thank you, Ms. Nyla. Thank you,
Thank you.
Attorney Novak.
And thank you, members of the council. Take care.
Yep. Okay, under new business. We have the approval of the 2025 Common Council meeting dates, and everyone got a copy of it. Hopefully they had a chance to review it. And I'm going to take a yes vote on it.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve the dates. Is there a second?
Support.
And seconded by Councilman Dabney. All right, everyone signify by saying aye if you approve.
Aye.
All right, the council meeting dates for 2025 are approved. And we also have the 2025 Common Council Board appointment expiration dates in front of us. and we've all had a chance to review that. Again, we'll take a yes, no vote. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion to approve by Councilman Coulter, second by Councilman Joe Nelson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, so the board appointments, expiration dates are approved. And then under note, it says appointments to the committees and boards before the final meeting of the council in a calendar year. The clerk shall produce for the council a schedule of the positions on the various boards and commissions to which the council makes appointments, which will become open in the next calendar year. And the dates those positions will become open. So we will get that at our next meeting. Under unfinished business, we have nominations this evening. The council has two appointments to the Redevelopment Commission. Incumbents are Tracy Tillman and Cherie Wilson, with the current term ending on 12/31/2024. And the term will begin 12/31/2024 and expire 12/31/2025 of next year. So we will be taking nominations. And give me a second just so I can get some. That's for the enterprise zone. All right. Pardon? Okay. All right. Are there any nominations?
I want to nominate Tracy Tillman.
Nomination for Tracy Tillman by Councilman Joe Nelson. Any further nominations? Councilman Coulter?
I'd like to nominate Cherie Wilson.
Cherie Wilson, nominated by Councilman Coulter. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Councilman Dabney?
Nominate Kathy Dennis.
Kathy who? I'm sorry.
Kathy Dennis.
Okay. Kathy Dennis, Ms. Nyla. And Councilman Beatrice?
I'm nominating Nick Pollock.
This isn't for the urban enterprise. This is the redevelopment commission. Oh, he's on that too? Okay, I'm sorry. Nick Pollock for the redevelopment commission. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. And we'll vote at the next meeting for the two positions. All right, now we have nominations this evening. The council has three appointments to the Urban Enterprise Association. The incumbents are Nick Pollock, he's in the business zone as a 4-year term. Dakota Euler, resident in the zone, for a 4-year term, and Rodney McCormick, who's a resident in the zone, for a 4-year term. And just so that we have this correct, is the way I understand it, one has to be a Republican, one has to be a Democrat, and the other one can be an independent. Correct? Okay. Everybody understand? All right.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
question. So one Democrat, one Republican, the other person can be anybody.
Yeah.
Residents has to be one Democrat. Right. The residents has to be one Democrat, one Republican.
Yeah. Right. The resident in the zone, the business person in the zone. Either has to be a Republican or a Democrat. Yeah. Yeah. And it just so happens that Mr. McCormick's an independent right now. Yeah. So can I ask you, attorney? Yeah. I know that one of the individuals is independent, but that makes no difference here anyway. It just all depends what slot he's going for.
Correct.
Okay. All right. All right. We got it. Everybody straight?
Yes.
Okay. As clear as mud. Okay. So go ahead and whoever nominations are open.
All right.
Okay.
I nominate Tina Mahone.
Tina Mahone for, is that business, resident, or resident?
Resident.
Okay, Tina Mahone for resident.
Nick Pollock for business.
Nick Pollock for business.
Mr. President, can I make 3 nominations?
Pardon?
It's unorthodox. Can I make 3 different nominations for resident?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
cool.
that's okay.
Okay. So Wendy Willis for the president of the Eastport Neighborhood Association. Sheila Moore is the second one I'd like to nominate, and then third is Dakota Euler.
I have a nomination too.
Councilwoman Tillman,
I would like to also nominate Sherry Wilson.
Sherry Wilson. Did she, on her application, does Sherry have the Urban Enterprise Association checked?
It was sent to you, Gail. No.
Wife of the mayor, she didn't do the council, she didn't do the mayor.
Hmm?
She didn't do the council appointment, she did the mayor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, any other appointments?
I want to nominate Willie Crump.
Willie Crump for resident? Okay, Willie Crump for resident in the zone. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, now we have to make sure that we have a Republican, right, and a Democrat in each spot. Okay. No, the Republican and the Democrat in each spot?
Yeah, we can cover that. We can cover the party affiliation issues when you actually vote.
Okay,
It was just nomination, so you get all the nominations out there.
okay, all right,
We'll provide an overview, just like you have the list of applicants today. There'll be an overview of who's eligible for what spots based upon the required party affiliation.
okay.
Correct.
Let's see. I would like to nominate Sel Dunlap for a resident in the zone. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. And we will vote at the next meeting, okay? And Ms. Nyla, if you could be so kind, when you put that in your minutes, I guess, could you send out a list of the candidates and
An attorney.
who was in where? Yeah,
attorney.
what slots?
Attorney Harris said you would.
I'm gonna work on that.
Okay, all right. All right, okay, we got that. That's done. That takes us to, I did talk about the revolving loan appointments, and we do have 2 appointments. And I did say that Pia Parrott filling out the paperwork and is going to have that in tomorrow. But we are looking, pardon?
I'm sorry.
Okay. And now we are looking for one more person, and that other person would have to be a business representative that resides in the city. So you work with the business, you reside in the city, get a hold of the clerk's office or get a hold of me, and I will educate you on how to sign up. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Are you done? Don, I'm sorry. Finish out, then I'll.
Well, yeah, we're going public comment.
Okay. Now, I thought I saw one for Erica Miller.
She doesn't live in the city.
Yeah, she does not. I called her today. She used to live in the city, and then she moved down to the county.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we double checked on that this afternoon.
Thanks. I just saw it
Yeah.
and decided to ask.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's one thing I have learned is to check addresses and double check before you get up here for nominations and get all that tied up for a while. Okay, moving on. Comments from the public. Anyone from the public wish to speak this evening?
Good evening, Council. Patrick Volz, Maintenance Director, Michigan City Parks and Rec. On behalf of the Park Department, I'd like to thank Council President Prebelinski for his generous donation, 8-foot Santa Claus that will be greeting visitors as they come down to the park this season. I hope all of you get a chance this season to get down to the park and see the lights and have Santa greet you as you're coming in. Thank you very much, Council.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hopefully all the people in Michigan City can come down and enjoy it. And yeah, one thing about Christmas, you got to have Santa Claus.
Scott Mellon, Turn Kennel Place. Yeah, everybody come on down Saturday. Saturday's the big thing. I'd like to follow up on a couple things. Miss Ward's presentation about the Promise Scholarship she mostly explained the report she gave you guys. There were no real numbers for the public. Something as simple as how many kids have we helped per year? And then how many are ongoing? But come on, Michigan City, up to $20,000 free dollars. What does it take? Everybody complains about how expensive things are. We've got up to 20 grand here for your kids to go to trade school or college. That shouldn't be a heavy lift at all. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, apparently. But I would like, as a citizen, just to know, apparently we've got 17 new students this year, and then she tracks how many are ongoing from previous years. So it'd be real nice to know how many kids in 21, 22, 23, 24. So that's that. The prison is great news. I think that's 108 acres that'll be added to Michigan City. It's a great opportunity for us. My question is, not to be a Debbie Downer, will the state undertake any remediation of that site before they give it to us? They had, are they going to give us their problem? It's kind of like buying a used car. You're buying somebody else's problem. Now, it's a great opportunity for us, but as we work past the MOU, what condition are they going to give us that? Will there be any asbestos remediation? I guess there were machine shops there in the past. I'm sure there's some hazardous waste in the ground, and that could be very expensive. And we all know there's a cemetery to deal with and probably some historic buildings. So it's a great opportunity, but again, what are we getting for free? That's about it. It's a busy December. One last complaint. The municipal calendar is blank for the month of December. I know we're saying we're getting a new website. I don't know if it meets this letter of the law to post meetings on the bulletin board in City Hall. I don't find that sufficient in today's day and age. Yeah, I know it's public, but it's not really widely, it doesn't reach very many people if you have to come into City Hall to read the bulletin board. And frankly, I've been saying this for all year. It's getting kind of old saying, well, we know we have a bad website and we're getting a new one. I found it in my business. It's important to not just say somebody needs to take care of the calendar. It needs to be identified as a person is responsible. Who is responsible for adding things to the calendar? I really think this is something we need to look into. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak this evening?
Mr. President and members of the council, I just wanted to highlight at the Festival of Lights Parade starting at 5 p.m. on Saturday, the housewives of LaPorte County will be collecting canned goods along the route. So bring those down and they'll be bringing their little totes to pick up those canned goods along the route to help people in the Northwest Indiana region.
Couple of things. Greetings again. So with the Promise Scholarship, we are working on some additional information. One of the things that I've asked Ms. Ward to do is to identify how many people have actually graduated, how many total people we've given money to, and how many actually make it through. So there hasn't been an accounting of that over the last several years. So trying to track down some of these students and figuring out if they got done or not. One of the things that you saw in your packet, even just for this year, there were so many from 2020. You could see the numbers go down every year that we get into each year that has graduated, the number dwindles down to next to nothing. How many of those kids have graduated? Those are things that we're looking at doing that we hadn't done before. So trying to keep a good database. Everything was on paper. So there was no database of information really that was really quite effective. So one of the things that one of the interns did this summer was kind of plow through that data, all the paperwork to figure out what was what. But that is something that we are looking at going forward. The reason why we brought the change to the ordinance is because we want to look at ways to possibly expand the money to utilize it for non-traditional students. Because quite frankly, it's tug of war getting the high school students to participate. We're getting some renters now, though. That's a good thing. Some of the renters are actually applying. But we have students that maybe they weren't ready at 18 to go to Ivy Tech or to PNW. Maybe it's 21 or 22. And the way the Promise Scholarship used to be set up, there was no opportunity for them to get any of that money. But now with the expansion of how we've done it, next year our target is to really look at ways to catch some of those that may be late bloomers, quite frankly, and figure out if we can catch them and do some type of partnership. I've met with OXO from the Chancellor of Ivy Tech to talk about ways to partner to get more of our residents into Ivy Tech and maybe do some matching dollars that way so our money can be stretched longer, but we can get more students into the system. So we are looking at ways to do that. As far as the prison, several years ago when I wrote the grant for Ready 1.0, the state gave us $325,000 to look at a relocation of the prison, if that was a viable thing. Since then, we have transformed into not only is a viable thing, it's going to happen. Now, what do we do with it? So that process, and we made that announcement for that steering committee. The state would not have given us $325,000 if they weren't going to support the effort of that prison. It is my intention and my goal to make sure that we have every opportunity to create a special district that they help us with whatever we need for that site. Governor Holcomb's gesture was to make sure that starts now. So I have fully confident that we will do what we need to do to move forward with the prison site. As far as the calendar, I don't have anything to say about that calendar. That website, again, and he can say it's like beating a dead horse. Anybody can say that. It's not a viable website. We know that. We are unveiling the new website in February. It is going to happen. Please be patient. Things have been broken for a lot of years, and I'm not going to fix it in 10 or 11 months. So what I'm saying to the public is I appreciate all of the patience that everybody has had with our administration this year. We're going into the holiday season. I want people to be merry. Our council meetings on the same Tuesday every month. Most of our meetings on the same exact day every single month in time. So again, please be patient with us with our calendar. If you have any questions about any meetings that are occurring, feel free to call the mayor's office at 873-1400, and we will answer that. Hit number 9 and you'll reach our office. But until then, we will continue doing what we're doing until we roll out something brand new and fantastic. And I appreciate everyone and their patience, because our communication has been a labor of love, and we communicate more now than ever with any administration that I've been a part of. So I appreciate all of you and everything that you do, especially as we get this ARPA money going, because it's stressing me out a little bit, but we're going to get through it. But again, happy holidays. If I don't get a chance to say it at the next council meeting, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa to everyone in the community. So again, thank you.
One more time, could you say that telephone number one more time where they can call?
1-873-1400. But you have to hit number 9 to get to the mayor's office. Previous administrations didn't want you to reach the mayor's office. So we're number 9. So yeah, feel free to call our office or stop in our office. My door is open. I get comments all the time that they've never been in the mayor's office. We're a revolving door. Both of my doors are actually open in the office. People come in both doors all the time, all day. So again, happy holidays to everybody. And I appreciate each and every one of you and all the work that you all do.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you also. Any further public comment? Any further public comment? Any council comment? All right, I heard we will go with Councilman Beatry. I think he hit first.
I'm here representing the 4th Ward, and I may revert to my people. Scott Meelan, you're a 4th Ward guy. Before you leave tonight, I'm going to give you my copy of the Promise Scholarship report that was given tonight, and I'm sure I'll see you in 2 weeks. You can give it back to me.
Councilwoman Nancy Mollenauer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also want to emphasize that you can sign up to get text alerts of the meetings when they're coming up, and also get text alert regarding the agenda that's happening. You can also sign up for that via email, and I know it's still working because I added some of the commissions and committees to my list. So that's another way to easily get a notification regarding any or all of the meetings that you're interested in.
Councilman Cora.
Thank you, Mr. President. Over the years, I have felt that we in Michigan City and LaPorte County needed new housing. So in the last couple of weeks, some developments have happened that makes me very happy. I think this is very important for the future of our city. Without new housing, we are not going to attract young families and new residents. And that'll help us in the future for the growth and development of our community. And I think what we have done today with the more development and the groundbreaking that we had recently, I think that'll help. And Mayor, thank you very much for sharing the news about the prison. Hopefully that someday will become a new housing development. And so I think these are all good signs for Michigan City. And one other request I have, Mr. President, is at the next council meeting, we should consider adopting a resolution thanking the governor for donating this, to the city of Michigan City.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Coulter.
Thank you, Mr. President. So two things I want to say. First is that I appreciate the hard work of the park department to put in the lights in the park. I get to drive past it most nights, and it's really pretty. And the second thing I wanted to say is reading a little bit of a thing that I wrote earlier today, celebrating the birthday of Harriet Colfax. I think I made a mistake in it though, because I said it's her 199th birthday, and I'm pretty sure it's her 200th birthday. But today on December 3rd, we celebrate the 200th birthday of Harriet Colfax, Michigan City's steadfast lighthouse keeper, who dedicated 43 years of guiding ships safely to the shore. Harriet took on the role in 1861, a time when women rarely held such demanding positions, and served until her retirement in 1904 at the age of 80. Harriet took to the role of lighthouse keeper in 1861 and faithfully served until 1904, climbing the tower countless times to maintain the light and sounding the fog bell during storms. Anne and Harriet's steadfast Anne Hartwell was goodness gracious. Anne was Harriet's steadfast companion, sharing work of the lighthouse and supporting her through the challenges of the extraordinary life. Their bond carried them through brutal winters, lonely nights, and relentless demands of lighthouse duty. The two exchanged rings and called each other husband and wife. When Harriet passed away, she was laid to rest beside Anne, a testament to their enduring love they shared, a love that quietly withstood the tides of history. Set a light out in their honor tonight, a lantern, a candle, or even a porch light. Let it shine not only as a tribute to Harriet's resilience, but also to the love and partnership that illuminated her life. Harriet and Anne's story reminds us of the beauty of standing together even when the world feels dark. So happy birthday, Harriet Colfax.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Any other council comments? I have a couple. One this coming Friday, and I think all the council members got an email on visiting the Hobart maintenance garage for the CNG trucks. If you can make it, or if you want to go either way, email Chris Carter tomorrow and let him know whether you can make it, yes or no. And that way, you know, we'll all meet at one time at the city services garage and then drive over to Hobart and see what we got going on over there. But Daryl Garbachik was at our last meeting, and he invited council members to go over to Hobart to the CNG truck repair facility that the city of Hobart has on how they repair these CNG trucks on site. Don't have to be transported to, I don't know, Gary, South Bend, or whatever the issue is going on. And this is another proactive move with our fleet of refuse trucks to try to get them staying in town, working harder, working faster to pick up the refuse in Michigan City. So that'll take place Friday if you want to go. And then the last thing I have is they had a NIPSCO, because NIPSCO is proposing a electric increase here early next year. So they had a public hearing last Tuesday. I took the liberty to take a ride over there, and I'm going to say, number one, speak for myself as a ratepayer. Number two, speak as a city representative representing the city government and the non-for-profits and all the other folks that couldn't and can't make those kind of hearings. And what NIPSCO is proposing, very briefly, is that their request would raise revenues for its electricity utility by $370 million. The flat monthly connection charge for each residential customer is going to go from $14 to $9 a month. So that's what, another $60 a year maybe. The volumetric portion of the bill would also rise, and it's got different numbers here, and the electric bill would rise from $166 for customers using 714 kilowatt hours to $223 for customers using 1,000 kilowatt hours. So, and all these new rates are going to be fully implemented in March of 2026. So I went over there and, of course, said that I wasn't, no way backing this. The city of Michigan City certainly can't back it. because the city of Michigan City can't afford to, in my estimation, an electric rate increase, and we can't even give our employees a raise. So we have to fight for every penny that we can. In the public comment deadline is December 12th, 2024, and you can submit online or by mail. But the final ruling is going to come down in the summer of 2025, so that'll be next summer. But the thing that the city can do, I'm talking about the county council, or the city council, what we can do is put a resolution together telling the IURC, Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, that we don't support it and we're totally against it. We've done it in the past, put these resolutions together. Now, I don't want to sound negative. I don't know exactly how good these resolutions work out, but I guess you have to look at it like this, that every time NIPSCO's gone to the IURC, if they're requesting 10%, they still get a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They'll get 6%. So if we can fight for a couple percentages off of that bill, that'll be good for the city. It'll be good for all of us. It'll be good for the businesses, the not-for-profits, the YMCAs, the Salvation Armies, the United Ways, all these different organizations that have to scrape for pennies day in and day out. So we'll have a resolution coming down the line shortly. I'll be working with the attorneys and we'll put one together and we'll get that down there too for these guys. Okay, so yeah, and with that being said,
Mr. President, can you share what, if people wanted to go and comment before the deadline of December 12th, where can they go and comment?
Oh, well, in fact, and that's a good question, Doctor, because they're actually going to have, let me see here, Oh, it's Hammond, it's December the 5th, okay, which is what, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. And that'll be in Hammond and Gary, okay, at Hammond's at 12:30 in the afternoon, Gary's at 5 o'clock in the evening. But you can go online, okay, and that's going to be the best and easiest thing to do. Let me see where the online's at. They don't give a website over here. Maybe this is it. No, those are case updates. 22222. That's testimony, rebuttal, IURC, closing briefs. Those are all dates. Yes,
If I could help clarify, it would be the Public Utilities website. They'll have a portal there. So they're the people ultimately that decide if this is going to be approved or not. Did you find it?
Yeah. www. Everybody writing that down? Yeah. Well, www.in, capital IN, .gov, those are small letters, /OUCC. OUCC.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, and that's what I have on that. And any other council comments? Motion to adjourn? Okay, motion to adjourn. Meeting is over.